Hi, we're going to be doing a tutorial on week 17 Morisot for cycle 2. The materials that we need are, I'm using this example of it's a still life of a vase with some flowers from Morisot. I have an 8x10 canvas board here. I have a pencil, one paintbrush, a paper towel to use to wipe our brush off between colors. And then I've mixed paints with, this is a gel medium, acrylic medium. So I've taken that and then I've mixed that with tempera paints. So we should be good with just orange, white, green, blue, yellow, and black. And those are all the materials we need, so let's get started. So move that out of the way. So the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna sketch with our pencil just a rough outline of where everything goes here. So we're gonna start down here on the table. So the table comes about, if this is half, it comes up about a quarter of the way. So if you have your kids sort of put their hands here in the middle, sorry, I'm trying to make sure this all shows. This is about the middle of my canvas. So then between there and the bottom is about here. So I'm gonna take this over here and draw a line. And this comes over, if this is halfway, again, it's about 3/4 of the way across here. So again, looking here, half, that's about here. So I've got a line here. And then this comes down before you hit the bottom of your canvas. So I'm gonna do a straight line over here. So that's our table. Then we're gonna do our vase shape. So our vase starts about halfway between the top and the bottom of the table, and it comes over from this point. So I'm gonna go over from this point about halfway down, and I'm gonna do sort of a curve here for the bottom of that vase. And then I'm gonna look where the top of the vase before we get to the flowers is. And again, if you look at this from top to bottom, this is about 2/3 of the way up. And it's also, it's more than how tall this table is. So if that helps you more, or the thirds. So I'm gonna put a little line up here so I have room for my flowers. And then the middle of it, actually, this isn't too bad to draw. So I think what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna draw this curved line coming down here. So we're gonna come down here as a curved line, and then we're gonna go out with our curved line, and then we're gonna come down like this. And then we're just gonna do like a mirror image like we learned in earlier weeks. So we're gonna go down about the same amount, and then we come out. And then we're gonna come back down. So then we have our vase shape. You can go ahead and put those handles in, which are down from, down on the neck of the vase here. So I'm just gonna do quick little handles here. You can do general shapes for these flowers. So let's start with this one down on the table. It comes down and it covers this bottom, it's not really a corner, but it looks like a corner here of this. So we're just gonna draw kind of a circle down, more like an oval down here for that flower. And then up here to the right of the neck, there's this flower. So again, kind of an oval flower shape here. We've got this big, looks like a daisy or a sunflower here that's pretty much straight up the middle of this. So we're gonna draw a circle, a little bit bigger than that oval we did here. A circle here, it's a little bigger centered. And then we've got this orange one up here, that's an oval. So we're just gonna, again, draw like an oval here. Sorry, my light's changing through the window. And that's really enough to get us started. So let's grab our brush and our palette, and we're gonna start with putting our big blotches of color in. Notice that the background, it almost looks like several different colors mixed together. So we're going to do that very last. So I'm going to begin right now with getting some flower color in here. So this middle one is that sort of yellow golden color. So I'm going to get, again, we want, see how there's actual, like, it's not just a little bit. We're getting paint, like, on our brush. And we're going to dab through here. You can have your kids make brush strokes if you want them to just dab, but see how the gel medium makes that paint stick up some. So again, we're just kind of blobbing like leaves through here, and we see that paint sticking up. That's good, we want that. Okay, so there's some yellow. Where else do we see yellow? It looks like there's a little bit of yellow in here, so I'm gonna go ahead, oh, see, I just even flung some on there, and that's fine. Gonna do a little bit of yellow there, and up here in this one, there's some yellow, and that actually looks like it's, literally like someone is just blobbing that on like that, so that's what we're gonna do there. Then down here, this flower, it does look like there's a touch of yellow maybe, so we're just gonna grab some more of that yellow, and I'm just gonna put just, again, just a little bit around here, so there's just some tone. I also see yellow on the vase a little bit right here, so I'm gonna stick a little blob of that here and up here. And in the background, again, we see colors. I'm gonna blob some yellow back here because I see yellow there. I see some up here by the neck. And I see some up here in the corner, over here, and even through here, there's some yellow. So again, we want blobby paint sticking up on this. Okay, so I'm gonna call that good with yellow. And I'm not even gonna wipe my brush off because we're gonna go to orange next, and that's very similar in color. So I'm gonna put my brush in the orange, and I'm gonna come in here. And again, lots of paint on that brush. I'm gonna put that circle just like in the middle of here. So there's some orange. Then I'm gonna come over here and we're gonna add some more orange. Again, there's literally paint on my brush there. And again, we're gonna circle around here with that. And then up here, same thing. We're gonna get that orange. We're gonna dab, 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 and really have that built up where you see literally blobs sticking up on there. Okay, then again, when I look through here, I do see some orange in the background. So I'm gonna put some of that over here, and it's fine for that to blend with the yellow. We want to see those brush strokes, and we want to see that blending too, because a lot of that happened right there on the canvas. So again, I'm kind of going where there was some yellow, and I'm just filling in a little bit with some orange. Let's see, down here, it looks like there's a little bit more. Again, I'm not doing the table quite yet. I'm keeping that more towards the end. This flower down here does look like it has a little bit of orange, so I'm gonna come in here and I'm gonna kind of swirl this so we kind of get that shape of, it's kind of a suggestion of petals. So again, keep getting lots of paint on and just kind of swirl that around for that little flower down there. And again, I'm gonna put a little more orange up here where we had some yellow. Looks a little orangey up there to me. And let's put some down here. Okay, so there is some nice orange in there, some mixed with the yellow. And And I might put a little bit of orange in these leaves up here. Now that I'm looking at it, I see a little bit of orange. So again, get it like hanging off the brush practically. And just, again, in the shape of those leaves coming out, we're just going out and towards the middle. And if you need a little bit more, get that on there, out toward the middle. Okay, then looking at the vase, there is a little bit of orange, it looks like right there. So I'm gonna put a little orange there. And I think I'm gonna call that good for now. Okay, so now I am going to wipe my brush off a touch. So I've got a paper towel here, and I'm just wiping this off. We don't need water. That's one more thing to have to deal with in the classroom, and we don't need to deal with that. Okay, we're gonna go to blue next. So we're gonna get our blue on our brush. Again, a blob of blue. We're not, oh, I just need a little blue. We need lots of blue. And we're gonna go in on the side here of this vase. And again, go along there. And again, I'm not going, oh, there's a lovely line. I'm blobbing it on here, okay? Blob, blob. And it even comes up a little bit there. And then everywhere you see sort of blue strokes here, that's all we're doing with our blue. More paint. There's a good chunk of it up here on the neck of this. And I'm just blobbing that on there. It's a technical art term, blobbing it on there. Blobbing some there. And along that side. Blah, blah, blah. And then it looks like there's some in here. And also down here. So there's some good blue. There is also some blue in the background, but I want to hold off for just a little bit before we get to that. And I want to come to the table next. So we're gonna take this blue again and wipe that on our paper towel. We're gonna come back down here to our table, and I have black and orange still on here and still some yellow, and that's what we're gonna do to get this table in right now. So I'm gonna start with that, like, do you see that? Lots of orange. And I'm gonna brush, brush, brush. And see there's some blue coming out of that brush? That's fine. If you look on this table where the brush strokes are, they're very blobby. Part of that's because of color change, and part of it is just the way the paint is applied with this brush. So again, we're not trying to make everything smooth and perfect. You want to see some brush strokes. I'm gonna get some more orange here, and I'm gonna come down here. More orange. Really, you need a lot of this. Get this color in. Lots and lots of orange. Up here I'm putting some orange. So you can see there's paint sitting on this canvas, and that's what we want, okay? Now I'm gonna take a little bit more of my yellow color. Again, got another blob of that. Because it does look like over here on the right and down below, there is a little bit more of that yellow color. So just, again, you're just blobbing that. There should be a better word for that. Blobbing that around there. I am trying to get up to these other shapes that we put on here so we don't have white showing through. So sometimes I do slow down a little bit, but again, it's not a perfect thing by any stretch. Okay, then let's grab black, and we're gonna add some black down here. So this side is definitely darker, so we're gonna put some black over here. It's fine, it's mixing with that orange. It almost looks like there's sort of a line going down there, so I'm gonna do a little bit of that there. And again, we're just filling in. That gel medium too really makes paint glide easy with your brush. So, you know, it really flows right on here. So got some black here, down here in this corner. It almost looks like it's almost like a black line, and it's sort of a shadow underneath here. So we're gonna take our black and we're gonna put that little shadow under there. And then there's, again, kind of an angle thing happening there. And down to the bottom. And put a little there so that our canvas is actually colored. And the inside of that flower actually even looks like it has a little black, so I've put a little more black on there. And I'm gonna fill in that flower right there with the black. While we have black on the brush, this blue, we can kind of tone that down a little bit. So more, again, blob some black on there. And we can come in here next to that blue and put some black in there. See how that gives it a little bit of a tonal change and adds a little dimension. So do that. Some black. Looking at these flowers up here, there's a darker part on each of these flowers if you look at all three. So again, take that black, you can put some dots there. Oh, that's maybe a little too much. Some dots in the middle of that one, and then up here at the top, some dots there. Okay, so while we have the black, if you look at especially the right side, it's definitely darker than the left side, the background here. So we're gonna go ahead, take that black, that kind of looks blue too because of the other colors that were on here, and we're gonna put some of that down here in the background. You see, it's not, again, you want brush strokes. Brush strokes are good. Brush strokes are very good here. And then I'm gonna put some over here too. Just maybe not as wide as I did over here. Along the edge, like I said, that can blend in with the yellow. They don't all have to go in the same direction. And back here, I'm gonna put some of that black behind the vase. There we go. Okay, so up here I'm gonna put some black. Just, again, I said this in another video I did, but look with your eyes where you see colors. Art is much of it, almost all of it, is looking. So you wanna make sure you actually see what's happening on your, the piece that you're trying to sort of replicate here. Okay, so next I'm going to do these leaves here coming out with our green. So I'm not even cleaning my brush off, I'm just getting some green paint. And that is coming out just above where we drew our little handle thing in. So I'm gonna draw, again, with lots of, there's a leaf coming down there, and it looks like one is over here. So I'm gonna blob some green over here. It's the word of the day, blob. And blob some green there. Okay, now don't even get the green off of your brush. Put some orange with that, and we're gonna draw these handles. So one handle, orange, still with some green on there, that's totally fine. Okay, and then we can take this green brush and we can put some in the background over here. Okay, so we've got pretty much everything here, but now we want to kind of tone some parts down. So we're going to use our white, and I didn't even wash my brush off or anything. I'm going to take this white and I'm going to start working that around here. So see, you can still see where the white is showing brush strokes. Lots of white. And you can go over the other bits of the background here too, because all that blending together is not a bad thing. Same thing, more white. I'm going to come over here. It's okay if it picks up some of that black. You want to see those good brush strokes. I'm going to come in, I'm going to fill all this, my canvas is white here, but I'm covering that with white paint. And it's okay if that mixes in with some of those colors that are around it. Anywhere that I see white on my canvas right now, I'm just taking my brush with whatever colors are on it. There's some white. It's picking up some other colors, that's fine. And I'm going around anywhere you see white canvas showing, not on the actual vase, but everywhere else. Take that brush. If you need more, if it's, you know, getting light on paint, come back in. But we want to cover anywhere that you've got white canvas showing through. I even have some white canvas on mine over here on my edges a little bit. So I'm filling that in. Up here on top, I even see some. And over here where I had my black, I still see some over here. So I'm just gonna do that. Okay. Oh, there was a little more. Okay, so now if you look at this background, mine looks a little splotchier than hers. Now, if you want to, you can take your brush and lightly go like this. And when you do that, it just sort of mutes that background a little bit. And it also makes the background recede and the foreground, like your table, pop a little bit more, because what we're doing is we're making the background look like it's a little more out of focus. And if you look at the sample, there is, you see less of those intentional brush strokes in the background. So you can take that, like I said, just go up and down, and you're just sort of blending those together. And then your flowers and everything pop a little bit more. Oops, I think I forgot to do that part on a white canvas. So I colored that in. Okay, so you can see your background is now sort of receding, and your foreground, the table and the vase, are popping, which is what we want. Okay, now, don't clean your brush. More white. Blob the white on there, because we have finished the vase. So, we're gonna blob, 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 where we have white. And we're gonna, now, part of this, as we go, we may wipe this off, but right now I'm not wiping it off yet, because I'm kind of toning this blue down a little bit. Okay. Okay, now I'm gonna grab my paper towel and wipe that where it's pretty clean. Okay, now I'm gonna hop up here to this flower and this flower really quick, because I forgot to add more white to those. I apologize. So again, lots of white. Get some up in this one. Again, you want to see that paint. You want to see it. And then down here on this one, because see how much brighter that is than what I have over here? So again, get some white, getting even more. Get some white in there. Even more. White. White, white, white. Okay. Now, again, you want, I'm really not kidding when I say you want a lot of white. And I realize my light is changing, so I hope you can still see this. Okay, I'm going to put my white down. A lot of white. See how it's sticking up on that? More. That's a lot. Because all of this is brighter. See how dark we have here? So we want to put white on top of that, but you don't want to mix a whole lot. You're just trying to lay it on top. Okay. More white, lots of white. Over here is still white, because it's really just this edge here that's really that darker color. So I'm coming in more white, more white. More white. And you can, if you want to show different strokes, you can do that if you're like, that really looks like a bunch of just blobs of paint. But you do that. We've lightened up our vase. And you've got a pretty good example of Morisot here. So you see the textures. You can talk about foreground where we see more detail, if you can call it that, and the background receding. But that is week, let's see, 12, 13, 14, 16, 17, 17. Week 17, Morisot.